I want to talk about the latest model from Alibaba. It's called Wan, and we've all seen a number of, I'll just say, very high quality deep fakes spring up around the internet, people showing off what they've built with it. But I think most interestingly, there's been a explosion of people showing off how they've used this model to not just make a deep fake, but to essentially take their own video and create something very, very, I would say, surprising and compelling. So here is an example that I pulled from Reddit of this in action. If you're on the audio version, it's a man sitting in the car and he's made himself into both Sydney Sweeney and Mark Zuckerberg. And let's roll the clip.
So I'm trying one Animate and I'm trying to replace myself with a different character. Take a look at this.
So like I can create fake ads with this if I wanted to. What are you talking about? What? That's crazy.
It goes on from there. Now, the background here, Jason, is that Alibaba, which makes both the Quinn models and the Wan family of models, put out something called Wan 2.2 Animate 14B. 14 billion parameters is what that means at the end. It came out on September 19th, and they said it's, quote, a unified model for character animation and replacement with holistic movement and expression replication. It's an open source model, and I believe the cow has left the barn when it comes on copyright infringement and deepfakes.
You know, in certain jurisdictions, that's going to be true. You've never been able to have, yeah, I'm on, okay. You've never been able to have copyright protection, intellectual property protection in places like China, or if you did, it was with a lot of work and a lot of hand-wringing. I remember going there and people would chase you down the street as an American with just buckets of DVDs 20 years ago and try to sell you DVDs that were, I think, 2 RMB each, which at the time I think was 8 RMB to the dollar. So it was 4 DVDs for $1.
Cents.
It was basically 25
wow.
cents, 50 cents, depending on the Blu-ray or whatever. And they would just hand you 10 of them at a time. And I bought some of them just as a lark to see what they were like. And it was software as well, like every software program. And yeah, it was like bad copies. And this is what you see sold on Canal Street in New York back in the day. But we're going to have our work cut out for us with this, because I'd say this is 80%, 85% of the way there. And so it's obviously going to get to 100% in the next year or two. And it will be indistinguishable. So you will have to take the approach that if you see somebody saying something crazy and it's not on their official account, it is not them.
I think we're actually there. I believe we've already sort of hit this point that was purely theoretical up to even a few months ago. There was that when everybody was saying, oh, Trump has been gone for a week, he's disappeared, he's sick, he's dying. Then Trump came out and made that statement, and everybody was looking at that statement. There was like, he did some weird thing with his thumb, or there was like an edit in the video. And so everybody was like, oh, there's a glitch. It's AI. That's not really Donald Trump. And it was, I mean, as far as we know, it does seem like that actually was. So I think we're already at the point now where
it was a splice cut. I mean, if you've never done video editing, you can,
there was
from
a
what
cut
I can tell,
there.
what they did was, yes, exactly.
But it would not have been even possible with the AI technology we have today to create a 20-minute believable President Trump speech that only had one little glitch. That was the president. But I just think we've already crossed this Rubicon that if you see a famous person on video saying something, you should automatically now be like, is that really them, or is this some elaborate deepfake text-to-video prompt?